Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BCW. We've got some huge news for you tonight, and we are so excited to announce our new partnership with WWE. Now, that, of course, is a name that all of us are familiar with, and I know you've got to be wondering, what will that mean for the future of BCW? In reality, not much is going to change. This has been a partnership that's been brewing for many years as BCW has continued to grow and grab mainstream attention. This is a partnership that we are very excited to bring you, and we want you all to know that the content that you are used to is not going to change. You are going to see many of the same things here tonight on BCW that you have come to expect from our amazing product. However, you will notice a few small changes. You will notice some things like, for example, our referee shirts look a little different. But I can assure you that is the only thing you will be able to tell the difference on, because WWE has guaranteed us that we will still continue to be able to put on the amazing shows that you have come to expect from us. And to prove that we mean what we say, we're going to start this show off with a bang as we head to the ring, where our current BCW Champion Frankie Carter awaits. WWE may have bought this place, but I still run it. I am the BCW Champion, and that's not going to change anytime soon. Now, last week there was an attack on one of the new guys here in BCW, Brandon Elliott. Now, I know you all must assume that I, as the champ, must have had something to do with it. Well, you're damn right I did. I've worked in this ring for years to get where I am, and this punk thinks he can just come in here and take a shot at becoming #1 contender? There's no way in hell that's happening on my watch. I've talked to the guys backstage, and several of us think that Brandon overstepped in challenging Justin Russell last week, and we have decided it's time we teach this guy a lesson. So I know Brandon is backstage limping around somewhere after I beat him down last week, but tonight, if he is man enough, I'm challenging him to take on one of the best guys here, my friend Roger Valentine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BCW. It is finally time to see if Brandon Elliott will accept the challenge of our BCW champion to face this man.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 193 pounds, Roger Valentine.
That's right, Roger Valentine making his way to the ring to see if Brandon will step up and accept the challenge issued by our BCW champion, Frankie Carter. Now, this is a challenge that was made after Frankie attacked Brandon last week on the end of the program as he was challenging our #1 contender for the BCW Championship, Justin Russell. It will be very interesting to see if Brandon Elliott is willing and able, after that beating he took last week, to be able to step up to this behemoth of a man that is Roger Valentine. And now it's simply a matter of finding out, will Brandon Elliott make an appearance here tonight? And it seems we have our answer. Here is Brandon Elliott.
And his opponent from Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 275 pounds, the anarchist, Brandon Elliott.
Brandon Elliott has made an appearance here tonight, but you have to wonder, after the beating that he took, having to be wheeled out on a stretcher last week, is he at 100%? Because I can guarantee you, if he is not, he will... No, Frankie Carter once again attacking Brandon Elliott as he is making his way to the ring here to take on this behemoth of a man. And now you have to know that the odds are stacked against Brandon as he has once again been attacked by our BCW champion. And you have to wonder, is the ref... Yes, the ref is going to let this match begin, but you have to wonder, does Brandon even begin to know what he is getting himself into? Roger throwing Brandon across the ring, and then that just devastating lariat there in the corner. Roger is such a big man here that every maneuver has got to be painful for Brandon Elliott, as we know he is already in so much pain from that attack just before the match, and as well as the attack last week by Frankie Carter. Oh, but that is certainly not stopping Brandon here, as he is going to put every ounce of energy he has left into making sure that he defeats Roger Valentine. Oh, and then Brandon with that chop, and then grabbing a hold of Roger and flipping over as he just takes him down. Very impressive maneuver on the big man here. Now Brandon again going behind, but Roger ducking out and returning the favor. Oh, and then that devastating clothesline there as he takes Brandon back down to the mat. And again, you can see the fatigue here on Brandon, not jumping up like he normally does, kind of just staying down on the mat. Oh, and then a quick kick out at one there, showing that he does still have some fight left in him, and that it's not going to be just an easy match for Roger Valentine here tonight. Oh, and again, going for that hold there on the chin, just squeezing down, increasing that pressure. Oh, and a dive from the second rope that does not pay off, but quickly, just blindly swinging backwards and connecting with Roger Valentine there. And Brandon again going up top, and will it pay off tonight? Yes, it does, as Roger is not able to get his knees up quickly enough to block that maneuver there off the top rope. Oh, but does quickly get out of the way and takes Brandon down again, now slamming the arm in, and then just those continuous heavy haymakers right there to the face. Oh, and then the quick stomps to the chest. And one has to wonder, after we saw that attack by Frankie Carter earlier, is that going to be something that we continue to see as Frankie tries to teach Brandon Elliott a lesson about respecting the roster that has been here before him? Oh, and Brandon with that cutter there on Roger Valentine. Is that going to be enough? 1, 2, no, as Roger Valentine kicks out, and Brandon obviously frustrated. He barely has energy left in him after these frequent attacks by our BCW champion, and you know he's got to be wanting to put this match away quickly, and that may be enough there as he goes again for the cover. 1, 2, no, as Frankie once again kicks out, and you know that Brandon has got to be wondering every time that Roger kicks out how much energy he has left. How much is he going to be able to put into this match to be able to come out as the victor? Oh, and Roger with that quick reversal there, driving the elbow into the knee, and then throwing Brandon into the corner there, and then, oh, just taking and smashing Brandon's head into the turnbuckle there. Brandon returning the favor as he fights out of it, and then lifting, oh, with an amazing pile driver there. Very impressive show of strength by Brandon Elliott after all he has withstood over the last week or two. Having that strength to be able to pick up the big man in Roger Valentine. Very impressive at this point. Oh, and then Roger rolling out of the ring and quickly getting back in to go after Brandon, but it backfires as Brandon quickly lays in those shots there, lifting Roger up to the top rope. And what is he going for here? Taking Roger up top, and that is a very precarious position as he brings Roger Valentine down to the mat. Going again for the cover. 1, 2, not enough as Roger once again kicks out. And Brandon rolling out of the ring, maybe just to catch his breath for just a moment and get away from Roger, just trying to get back some of the energy that he has expended already. Oh, as he goes for that dive and misses as Roger sidesteps. And Brandon with those swift punches there, and then again tucking his head. Oh my gosh, just tying Roger up in the ropes there. That was a very nasty looking fall there by Roger Valentine as Brandon goes for the dive and completely misses. And you have to wonder, if Brandon was at 100%, would he have made that mistake there as he just completely missed Roger as Roger rolled under the bottom rope And it almost looked like Brandon wasn't able to keep his balance on the top rope to be able to stop himself. And then Brandon, with that devastating maneuver on the outside of the ring there, and just smashing Roger into the mat there. Oh, we have just seen that several times from Brandon, and it is always a devastating maneuver. Brandon just throwing Roger there into the side of the ring, using everything he can to his advantage. But unfortunately, Roger seems to constantly be able to reverse and get the momentum back in his corner. And Roger just taunting Brandon to get back in, daring him. And Brandon quickly takes the challenge, slamming Roger down to the mat, and then picking him back up and slinging him into the other corner there. Brandon quickly over the top rope, and then right through the middle rope there, and just diving in with that tackle on Roger Valentine as he drives the knee into the midsection, and again off that backhand spring into the midsection again. And then a quick head scissors to take Roger Valentine down to the mat. Now Brandon going back up to the middle ropes there, and then maybe thinking better, deciding to go up top just to show that he is not afraid of Roger Valentine, and he is in this match 100%. Diving off the top rope, and Roger catches him into the power bomb there, making Brandon regret going to that top rope. And then Roger just dancing around Brandon as he is obviously dazed. Roger just stalking Brandon, and then that clothesline there, and again with that lariat. Ducking under, and then that flying, just stiff arm there right into Brandon's head. And then that Samoan drop there. Brandon quickly back up to his feet as he is thrown into the corner, and then Roger turning Brandon around. And then that swift slap there to the chest. And what is Roger going for here as he goes outside? And it's not often we see the big man go up top. Just driving his knees into the midsection there. And that is a lot of weight being thrown down on Brandon Elliott. But quickly kicking out before the count of 2. Roger a bit surprised that Brandon was able to kick out so quickly there, I think. And then lifting Brandon up, into that painful submission, just pulling back on the head and neck of Brandon Elliott as Brandon tries to fight out. The referee in good position there to see, but Brandon able to duck under, get his arms loose, and pull the legs out from underneath Roger Valentine there as he pulls him over backwards, slamming him into the mat. Brandon just taking a moment here. You could see for a quick moment there, he grabbed his midsection. I'm sure he is in a lot of pain after the last several weeks of just constant attacks by Frankie Valentine. Now Brandon going, it looks like possibly again to the top rope. Just taking that moment again, just calling for Roger to get up and going for it. He was going, it looked like again for that cutter, but Roger was able to push him off, fighting out of it. But Brandon quickly back on Roger, taking him down to the mat. Brandon quickly pulling Roger back up, but a little too quickly as Roger grabbed the leg, sweeping it there and bringing Brandon back down to the mat. Roger turning Brandon around in the corner and smashing his head just repetitively into that top turnbuckle there. And Brandon just dazed as he falls to the mat. Roger going to, Brandon fighting out there as he jumps behind and just bringing Roger down to the mat there on his shoulders. That hard fall as Brandon now returning the favor throws Roger into the corner. And then that nice chop there as Brandon just constantly doing everything he can to take it to Roger. And Roger always fighting out at the last moment, not letting Brandon get any ground as he just again smashes his head there into that turnbuckle. And Brandon just dazed and confused as he again falls to the mat. And you've got to wonder how much Brandon Elliott has left in him. At this point, it's almost as if, oh, not again. Oh, Brandon fighting out this time, saying no more of that, but still grabbing his head there, as you can see that brutal damage taking effect. And again with that pile driver there, just smashing Roger into the mat on his head and neck, and you know that has to be brutal. Oh, and again, Brandon taking that quick maneuver to slab Roger right there into the mat. And it looks like, yes, Roger has been busted open after that maneuver. Will that be enough, though, for Brandon to put Roger away as he goes for the pin here? 1, 2. No, not enough, as Roger kicks out again. And you can see the fatigue as Brandon again grabs a hold of the midsection there. You have to start wondering about internal damage. The constant just abuse that Brandon is taking here at the hands of Roger Valentine. Is that enough? 1, 2. No. Kick out at 3. And Roger looking to the ref, wondering about the count. Wondering, it did seem a bit slow there from our new referee. Maybe just getting his feel for the pacing here in BCW, as that was a little bit of a slow count it seemed, but it worked out in Brandon Elliott's favor. Oh, and then just those devastating headbutts from Roger, as he just completely disregarding the pain that he must be feeling in that big open wound on his head there, just smashing his own head into the head of Brandon Elliott, and now going for the cover. Is that enough? 1, 2, 3. No. Brandon again kicking out right before the count of 3, and you can see the frustration continuing to build in Roger Valentine as he now goes for that headlock on Brandon. And Brandon quickly trying to fight out, and just Roger wrenching back there. Brandon, you know he's got to be trying everything he can to fight out of this maneuver. And yes, it looks like he is going to possibly, as he, just with those stiff elbows there to the midsection. And, once again going for the cutter, and this time it connects. Roger not able to fight out as Brandon goes for the, no, I thought Brandon was going to go for the cover there, but apparently wanting more. And it looks like it backfired. Maybe he should have taken the opportunity when he had the chance. With that fighting out and running knee there, just again attacking the head, that open wound of Roger, and going off the top rope, dropping the elbow on the back of the neck there. And both men slow to get back up. And at this point, you have to wonder how much Roger even has in the tank. We have seen him in many matches here in BCW, but this by far is the most brutal so far. And again, Brandon proving the point by just slamming Roger into the steps there. Brandon going up top and turning around and going, it looks like, yes, for a dive off the top ropes as his knees land there hard on the steel steps. Brandon doing whatever it takes, putting his own body on the line to try to win this match here tonight. Brandon just taking and tossing Roger across the outside of the ring here, and then climbing back in himself, maybe looking to take a count-out victory. No, going back right after Roger, and I should not be surprised at this point, as we have seen nothing but heart and determination from Brandon Elliott, as he has shown us over the last several weeks here on BCW. And that stiff clothesline there from Roger Valentine. Roger picking Brandon up off the mat there, and then grabbing him and throwing him back in the ring here as the ref reaches the count of 5. Roger quickly back into the ring. And what's he going for here as he lifts Brandon up? Throwing him up on the shoulders for that Samoan drop. And Roger staying on the attack. But no, Brandon flipping him over his shoulders there, and then tossing him into the corner, running right at him and over the top ropes. As again he dives through the middle rope there, taking Roger down. And Brandon jumping over Roger, going up to the top rope here. Will this be enough to put him away? No, as Roger gets the knees up and then lifting Brandon up off the mat. And it looked like he was signaling there to the back. I'm not sure what that was in reference to. As Brandon continues up. And then now Frankie Carter back in this match. interrupting just as he did at the start, and now just stomping on the newcomer Brandon Elliott. And folks, I apologize again, as we do not have a definitive ending to what was building up to be one hell of a match here. And I do apologize once more. I'm not sure how much more of this Brandon Elliott can take, but I hope for his sake that he is okay after these constant attacks. Folks, that's going to have to do it for us here tonight. We hope that you'll join us again here next week, live on BCW.